What's up? Welcome to my studio, Langman Music Gallery in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I know what you're asking yourself. Why is it called Langman Music Gallery? I'm half Filipino. My dad is white. My mom's Filipino. My dad's side of the family, they immigrated over to the U.S. in like the late 1800s. And it was like my great-great-great-grandfather from Romania, crazy looking guy. He settled down in Philadelphia. So there were generations of Langmans here in Philadelphia, and my great uncle Richard, he had an art gallery here in Philadelphia called the Langman Gallery. So Uncle Richard now lives in Hawaii, and I visited him for the first time in Hawaii when I was in like 6th grade, and he bought me a ukulele, this ukulele right here. And that's kind of how I started getting into writing songs. Just alone in my bedroom, under my breath so no one else could hear me. As you can tell, it's heavily beaten up and bruised, but, you know, I wrote a lot of songs. Best Tears I wrote on this, Too Late partially on this, So Alright Cool Whatever, believe it or not, started on this beat up, disgusting ukulele, and, you know, I'll get it repaired one day. It's cracked, there's dried rosin on it. But Tenderly was one of those songs that I wrote. So it's kind of like that's how I'm tying this all into the story of the studio, this being my first video I'm making here, and the song Tenderly, which we just released. So I wrote this song for the most part back when I was in like high school. It's been in the archives for a minute, and it wasn't until 2023 when I was, you know, falling deeply, deeply in love again, that I was like, I need to write as many love songs as possible. So when I was living in Brooklyn, I pulled this song out one night when I was like deep in the throes of love. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. When I was working on this EP of like slow, soft, like pretty songs. I think I called it like songs to listen to at night. Songs to listen to alone at night under the covers at dark. I'll find it somewhere. Essentially, Tom Rosenthal is like a big inspiration of mine, and a lot of his music I would just like listen to while I was falling asleep growing up. And there's something so like tender about the music that he makes. His earlier stuff he was writing for his daughter, which I thought was like such a cute, pure idea for a song. I'm getting sidetracked here. I think the meaning of the song Tenderly to me, obviously, I think the girl I sang this to in high school, she ended up ghosting me like 3 weeks after the fact. I don't know if it's because of this song. I actually think she quite liked the song. But I think there's a lot of philosophies of love in terms of honesty, of you should be 100% honest. Always, you should never lie to your partner. And I always thought that was so silly because there's some insecurities I have that I just know are true, you know? And what I love about my partner currently is that she'll tell the white lie just so I don't have to feel bad. And I think it's the small things, you know? That's what I say in the chorus is, it's how you say the little lies that keep my mind quiet at night. A harmless example, I guess, is like, I know I snore. I'm a horrible snorer. And and my partner, Kayla, she's always like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care that you snore. But I know deep down it really, really annoys her. But to me, she says she doesn't care. And it doesn't bother her at all. And it's that little lie that she tells me that quite literally keeps my mind, but not my snoring, quiet at night. There's other examples too. You know, I think at the time in high school, I was probably thinking like, oh man, my acne is really bad, and she still thinks I'm pretty or something like that. But I think it, you know, 10, 12, 15 years later, however many years later now, I feel like it still all really, really applies, you know? So that's the philosophy of love that I subscribe to, one of the many facets. But let's dive into the music making now. All right, Pro Tools, here we come. Yo, smooth transition. All right. Okay, so here we go. This is the session that we sent to mix. So most of the record, Lovesick, right behind me, we recorded at Applehead Recording Studio in Woodstock, New York. This song, for the most part, was recorded in my Brooklyn apartment. And then we didn't do anything at Applehead, didn't even expect it to be on the record until my co-producer, Ayad, once we had 10 songs basically recorded and finished, he was like, let's bring in some more of those love songs. If it's an album called Lovesick, we need some more love songs. So we brought in Tenderly. And at the time I had basically the demo was very close to what ended up being on the record. The biggest difference was the orchestra that we recorded at Ayad's studio in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Diamond City Studio is where we recorded What Could Be Better, Under the Shade of Green, and then the first iteration of Diamond City Studio, which was in Manhattan, we recorded Concentrate. So Ayad's been with us, producing us for basically a decade at this point. There's some stuff from the demo that I kept in the final. A lot of it I did keep in the final. A lot of my cello overdubs and everything, I just figured, hey, why not? I really, you fall in love with sometimes hearing a demo. We call it demoitis. And the ukulele I never re-recorded. So the ukulele you hear in the beginning, that is straight from my apartment. And here we go. Let's listen to it right now. It took me a million takes to do that. There's probably a bunch of comps in there, but I'm not showing you the comps because I want you to think I'm perfect. But there's quite a lot of comps to make that sound as clean as it is. Here we got on the ukulele, just some super play. I love this plugin, this acoustic body preset, just really I don't know, it beefs it up, but keeps it nice and sweet still. So that's what you're hearing, that little nice reverb. And then this whole record, Tenderly and Lovesick, I was addicted to the EQP 1A, just so warm and classic. When I was making this songs you can listen to alone at night under the cover, whatever, blah, 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 I would record most of the songs between the hours of 9 p.m. and 4 a.m. So there's a good chance these vocals were cut at 2 a.m. But I feel like that takes a long time for me to really get vulnerable and, be able to sing these lyrics. I was in a modern days of finding all the better ways to be. Then you caught my eye and the world caught on fire, and I said I maybe don't know. So here's what the orchestra's doing right there. Nice. And the one thing I just put on all the strings for this record, I just really liked kind of how, I guess, warm and almost shimmery it made it sound, just because of the analog emulation it was doing, less so because of the actual technical compression it was doing as the Fairchild. It just feels really nice. So when we recorded these strings, it was a bunch of my friends. Shout out to all my friends that recorded on this record. All these waveforms you see, that was actually 8 to 10 microphones that Carl, shout out Carl, who engineered all these string sessions, set up. And then basically I condensed them all down because it would be so annoying to the mixing person to receive 40 to 50 tracks for just that. So that what you're hearing is quite a lot of information. Just one take sounds like this. But then you stack up a bunch of 6-piece orchestras and you get a 24-piece orchestra, and it sounds beautiful and full. Lots of air, lots of bow noise. Here we go, next verse. You lived in a castle where the sun sang at a little prayer something about the strings on this song. I wanted to sound really like French, almost like a Disney movie, like Up. Like, come on, that soundtrack is amazing. So definitely took a lot of inspiration from there. But like Tweety Birds, you know, like diddly diddly, and everyone's following in thirds. So, and it has a nice little like, you know, texture. Oui, 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 oui. It just sounds like a morning in Paris, smoking a cigarette with a baguette and the girl you love next to you. Another thing, shout out to my sister's boyfriend, Tom, who recorded double bass on this record. I am addicted to bass, double bass, and before this record, I would have thought I was crazy, but as you can see, I have 3 bass tracks right here, D bass 1, 2, and 3. And what I really didn't think was possible, but once I tried it out, I was like, it's hard to go back. This record is quite maximalist. I have my center bass track, and then I have a right and left bass, so that in the really, really loud parts, I could really make your stereo system rumble by filling out the sides with a lot of bass. Is that the right thing to do? I don't know. It made me feel the song more, so I did it. So here we go. Here's what the entire orchestra is doing. Let's take a listen. In the second half, we go from a very modest orchestra to a very lush orchestra in the second half. Here we go. You lived in a castle. Go Tom. Yeah, Tom. So there's so much stuff that I had to put on the bass to really get what I had in my head. And, you know, the main plugin I think that really helped it kind of like pop out of the page for me, because the double bass is like very bassy. So I put a lot of this plugin, the Neutron Exciter. I just really liked what it did to, like, you can really feel kind of the hair on the string a lot more. Without it, it's kind of like a little dull. I'm a hairy guy. I like hair. I like it, a little bit of fuzz. Even in a beautiful song like this, it just, I don't know, it pulls me in more. I love the part when you just asked my name and the choir sang and the roses grew in metaphors ways. Well, you knew my stories, so there's one orchestra doing just regular kind of pad stuff, and then I call it the Shimmer Orchestra doing all the French stuff, as I like to call it as well. So this is what you hear going, and that's doing it in like, they're basically just it's planing on just chords, just you know, nice. Shout out Orchestra. They sound so beautiful. So there's a big old Happy Fits feature in here. We got everyone right before the chorus coming in with their little way. Those were really fun to record. And, you know, we like to play around with our panning a bit. So we got me coming in, Raina, Nico, Luke. It's like we're all around you. You're surrounded on all sides by Happy Fits. First chorus. Let's rock. Tenderly, it's how you speak to me. It's how you say the little lies that keep my mind quiet at night. All right, so here we go. So this little tremolo in the orchestra, I just love it. It's so sparkly. And as you can see in the double bass again, for this bigger, grander moment, I go to my stereo bass that I like. And I kept one up the middle because I'm fucking crazy. Quiet and we can dance though I really can dance though I know you'll still smile because you're happy to be dead. I remember showing the song to Luke for the first time, and he was like, it sounds like you're with your lover on like a boat watching the sunset. And it was before I had double bass on it, and something about the double bass sounds like a tanker. So the original demo didn't have any Reina, and when we were trying to work it into the Lovesick world, we figured, hey, this is kind of like a beautiful duet opportunity similar to Superior. Let's get you on it. So here's me and Reina duetting. A mind quiet at night, we can dance though I really can dance though I know you'll still smile because you're happy to be dancing with your prince who's got... And we got these little Reina echoes on the sides, which are just so sweet. To be dancing with your prince who's got two left feet. And now this whole kind of like outro part of the chorus, I had a lot of fun with the strings. We're gonna go into kind of all this crazy automation here right now. So basically what I want it to sound like is kind of like dolphins like coming out of the water at sunset, like floo. So you're hearing me go blop, 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 blop. And what's going on there is they're moving from left to right, and I have to automate all that to make it sound good. But here's kind of what one part is, and I'll keep showing you what they're doing. So it's chords that are moving bum 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 bum, all one chord, the same chord, bum 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 bum, just in different variations. There we go. You're gonna hear, this is how I had them record it. And then I had them all layer on another. And then I had them layer on one more. And then all together, here, I'll show you right now. So that's what it sounds like without any effects. And then, I added on a little bit of alter boy to kind of beef it up, add some octave down there. And this is what it sounds like all together. Okay, here's the orchestra solo. So there's a lot going on here. First, we have just the orchestra doing the melody of the ukulele, the doo 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 doo. And then we have my French strings that are just going. So even though the melody is kind of like deflating downwards, these like violin, bird singing, whatever you want to call them, it's kind of helping the whole line rise. And all music theory, anyone that's taken like a music theory 101 class has probably talked about contrary motion. There's something really nice about the melody going down there and then some strings rising up here. It gives it a nice open feeling towards the end. Here's those little French Italian little violins. And then together. So the only other thing we have going is just this orchestra group is kind of just doing some pad. Really emotional pad. And then we added on Reina doing some lovely little oohs. All right, onward and upward. All right, next, so we have this next pre-chorus. The difference from the first and the second pre-chorus is that we just have an orchestra kind of playing along to this melody. And here's them playing that right now. And I love in these parts these kind of very expressive shimmery strings going ooh. Those are just really emotional to me. I just love the I don't know what that sounds. That sounds like French to me or Italian. I don't know. It's for Italian. It's it. All right. Sounds like my cat a little bit. Onward and upward. So we're going to this next chorus. The first chorus starts very solemn, and the second chorus starts already kind of emotionally there because we wanted to get to this huge climax at the end. So here we go. Here's this last chorus. Triple bass. Oh, it's just double. It's just two bass so far. It's how to say little lies that keep my mind quiet at night. We can dance, though I really can dance, though I know you'll still smile because you're happy. All right, so let's just go like right to this climax section. So we got three bass parts going honkering. They're honkering. Those are some honkering basses. We got the orchestra. This is the pad orchestra, probably playing their hearts out. Everyone's really digging in. I told everyone forte, forte, forte. And then we got the shimmer group. You know, they're probably the most intense. Like, I was just like, play this like your life depends on it, basically. Little disco slide there at the end. And here we go. This is Reina. This is what the vocals are doing there. We'll boost Reina a little bit so you can hear how friggin' emotional it is. We can dance, though I really can dance, though I know you'll still smile because you're happy. And in my delusion at 2 a.m. when I recorded these vocals, I was like, it needs more sauce. And I started just basically automating in a really intense micro shift aggression. So that's basically just a cool little delay from Sound Toys. If you don't have the Sound Toys effect rack, highly recommend it. I feel like everyone uses it. Just amazing sounds. And then I also made the decapitator, like everyone also uses this, just automated the crap out of that going upwards so that it really intensified with the music. So here it is. So even before there was a whole orchestra doing that, I needed something extra at that last chorus to kind of, I don't know, I'm just singing your heart out, you know? Like, how beautiful is it that someone still wants to dance with you, even though you have 2 left feet and clams for hands? That's how I feel. I really can't dance. I try, but I can't. Okay, so we're here at the outro. This is... That has to be the most emotional way a human being has ever sang the word clams. And then obviously I just love the little arpeggiated like little plucks, so I had to bring them back here right at the end. So that's it. That's Tenderly. That's the walkthrough of the session. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to, I want to do this for all the songs on Lovesick because they were all so much fun to kind of make and put a lot of heart and soul into them. So let me know which one you want to see next. Thanks for watching. Hope to be doing this a lot more. But from the Langman Music Gallery, peace out. Thank you for watching. Love you. Keep loving your hearts, everyone.